Hello and welcome to episode 42, the Jackie Robinson episode of the Potty Mouth Podcast. I am always and your host, Greg. Co-host is Atlanta, still busy, letting him do his thing. Hoping to get him back for some Super Bowl preview action next week. But today, it's just me. Listen, this is arguably the worst week in sports every year. You're just kind of waiting for the Super Bowl, and it used to be more of an over-analysis of teams, but maybe I just don't watch TV as much as I used to. But now, like the kicker on the Eagles, Elliot's favorite Super Bowl, I guess media days yet to happen, right? But all that nonsense will come out, and overexposure and all that, and Radio Row will kick off, blah, 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 blah. But we need to talk about the biggest news in sports, the biggest story in sports. And it's not Cam Newton saying he'd rather have the MVP than no MVP in a ring. It's not that. It's not NBA trade deadline, Jimmy Bucket. It's not that. The biggest story in sports right now is that Croatia advanced to the European Handball Championship of the World Cup. They made the World Cup final. Yeah. That's what's going on right now. Croatia and Denmark, baby, for all the marbles on Sunday. Now, I saw Denmark crushed Portugal, so I'm scared. I'm scared for Croatia this Sunday. But you know what? We might revisit that. If you know our show, and on Thursdays, we do something, a little gambling kick to the show. Today's going to be kind of like a hodgepodge. I'm going to kind of bounce a little bit all over the place. But mainly I'm focusing on the work it out Wednesday on a Friday. The wild ideas that I have to fix things, to fix all-star games, to do stuff, to improve maybe a struggling sport like the NBA. Ratings-wise, the product's fine. You have stars all over the place. I guess the biggest problem is you don't have a juggernaut. Juggernaut? You don't have a juggernaut. You not have a juggernaut. Like, okay, you don't have a juggernaut in the traditional sense of this. Like, I guess you do have the Celtics. But the Lakers, meh. You don't have that triple-headed monster. Everyone complained about the super teams. Everyone complained. KD, can't beat him, join him. Everyone complained about the Heat. Everyone complained about that Celtic team, right? Ray Allen, Garnett, Paul Pierce. It was good for the league. It's good to have villains. It's good to have someone to root against. That's why, steroids helped. But the Yankees in the mid-'90s, as boring as they were, don't tell me they weren't. Come on, Charlie Hayes. No disrespect, I actually like Charlie Hayes, but come on, Danny Tartable. I know he didn't really get those rings, but it bled into boring ass Bernie Williams, sick guitar, and Donnie Damon. Boring by trade, boring by ownership. No beards, cut your hair. Sports is not the military. Anyway, Steinbrenner's dead, so I'll move on from that. What was I saying? Villains, teams to hate. The Patriots were good for the NFL. I don't think it's a coincidence that when Peyton Manning retired, there was a dip in ratings the next year. Look it up. Google that ish. It's good, and then there's more. I don't know if parody is the right word. It's more level. I know the Celtics dominated last year, but it's more level this year with Cleveland. Unbelievable. OKC, unbelievable. Houston's playing great with young stars. And then you have players like LeBron, Steph, and really well-run organizations up to this year, like the Heat, struggling to stay at that 6th seed. So the NBA's fine. There's just nothing to draw the average viewer into. So here's some things I would tweak if I was Adam Silver. No more 10:30 TNT games. You move everything up. Well, I know it's going to Amazon, I believe, the Thursday night games. But no more 10:30 starts on national television or your main streaming service. Got to move everything up. Get eyes. Also, big one, maybe the biggest. No more back-to-backs. No more back-to-backs. Kill them. Dead. Like Arnold in Commando. Take a machine gun to that shit and then throw a hatchet at its head. No more back-to-backs. You make sure that Embiid, Kawhi, when they're healthy, they're playing because they're kind of rested. No more back-to-backs. And I think those two things alone would boost ratings, one. And two, you have a greater chance of knowing that Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard, Embiid, Towns with his thumb now. LeBron's old. I don't know how long he's going to play. Steph's getting up there. Clay's getting up there. Kyrie's slowly getting up there in age. And Doncic is, if you watch Luka play, he's been hurt all year so far. So keep the stars on the court. And I'm saying this because ratings are down. I don't think that's a big deal. That's fine. They'll be fine. The playoffs will be fine. And I don't think they're panicking yet. I don't think they will. I think it is a mistake to go to these streaming services if you're not the NFL, because the NFL is like a plague. It affects everyone, and even if it's a bad product, look at all the teams in the NFL that you had like 4 wins. It's embarrassing. 4 or less wins, really. And I'm saying this because the NBA's talked about, or Adam Silver mentioned, he wouldn't be opposed to taking 2 minutes off of every quarter. Time of game, length of game is not your issue. I don't even know what the real, comment. Tell me what the real issue is. There's so much shit to watch. Too much shit to watch, whether it's this reality show with trashy people or this really good drama on this network and with 7, 8, 9 streaming services with shit constantly being pumped in your face. Plus the podcast, you got to make time for your podcast, whether you're listening or watching. Like PMP, like, comment, subscribe. Me and Vin, wherever the fuck he is. So, NBA, no more back-to-backs. And then another cool thing that people have been, I know other shows that I watch. I'm a fan of other shows. I've mentioned who I watch and who I support. People have talked about, much like European soccer, the home team. So soccer fields are all different. There's no standard length, width, whatever. Width. I think length, yes, I believe. Width in Europe, it changes. So if you could do that with the 3-point line, like say Portland, team that struggles, Washington, team that struggles, maybe they don't have a great 3-point shooter. Maybe that's not their strength, right? So they have Boston or a team that, is prevalent with the 3. They have Boston coming in. They have the Warriors coming in either game by game or for the season. Portland, Washington, we choose not to have a 3-point line. That'd be amazing. And then the Milwaukee Bucks. They have Dame Lillard who could shoot from half court, right? Or I know Donovan Mitchell likes to throw some threes, right? Cleveland, Milwaukee, your 3-point line, pretty damn close to half court. Why not? Home court advantage. Make it a real thing. Or maybe a team can choose, there's no wing, no corner threes. It's too easy. It goes in a higher rate than every other three because it's closer, right? No more wing. You cut off the top of the key three at a point to foul line extended or something like that. Home field advantage, home court advantage. Why not? Every MLB stadium's different. NFL should widen their field. Players are too big, fast, and strong, really. But and that's not an original. That's not an original idea. I've heard people say that before, but I agree with it. But that's my NBA fix. Boom, 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 boom. People have said that it's too confusing in the NBA with the salary shit and I forgot what they call them. The salary levels. Just I forgot what they call them because I don't care that much. The salary cap in the NBA is confusing for the common fan. Whatever. All right, that's my NBA fix. NBA All-Star Game. They just went to what the NHL had, the 3-on-3 tournament. Players are against it. I think fans are kind of skeptical, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to bash that yet. I'm not going to suggest what they should do yet. I want to see how this goes because I did like when they went to the whatever CP3, whatever Chris Paul, wherever he found that. I don't know if it was the Big Three or whatever. Wherever he found their rules where you play and then you have to win by this whatever they called it. I liked it. It worked for the first couple of years, and then people like Karl Anthony Towns throws up 50 fucking threes and makes the game unwatchable. Take the 3-point. Here's something for the NBA. Take the 3-point shot away or make it crazy far, and there's a cap. You can it's next to the scoreboard. You can only take 10 threes in a quarter or something crazy like that. Yeah, there's a fix. That was off the top of my head. I'll get into the what NHL is doing now. I think the NHL kind of regrets not letting their players play in the last Olympics, the last Winter Olympics. They will be in the next. And so they're doing the Four Nations face-off, they're calling it. In place of the All-Star Game, it's Canada, Sweden, and Finland, and the U.S. Oh, maybe it's Czech. God, I got to look that up. But the Four Nations, it starts February 12th, so we'll get into that as closer it gets. But that's something cool, different. People that have missed out on the Olympics miss it. They get this. I think it's Czech. I don't think it's Finland. I think I'm wrong. I think it's blah, 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 blah. But I should probably do better show prep, right? Yeah. Who noticed that I didn't have audio when I put up the YouTube video last time? Yeah. Start a podcast, they said. Get a co-host, they said. It'll be fun. Let me look that up. Four Nations. Just so I'm correct. Canada, Sweden. I was right. Never doubt yourself. Canada, Sweden, U.S., and Finland. Starts Wednesday, February 12th. The final will be on the 20th, Thursday the 20th. So this is their All-Star break. All the studs, most of the studs are locked up. You see Austin Matthews, see all these guys. See Connor Bedard, Connor McDavid. All these guys set about Canada's captain will be Sid the Kid. So that'd be cool. That'd be fun. It's different. And maybe NBA does that. Maybe they do Luka and Jokic versus America. Who knows? But that's what NHL's doing. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be great, fun. A lot of people left out. Obviously, you're not for I guess political reasons. You don't do Russia. I don't know. We maybe add 2 more teams. Do other, do Czech. Like I said, do other and have Ovechkin in this thing or something, or the rest of the world. I don't know. I'm just shooting off from the hip here. But a big change I would love to see, and I wasn't going to mention this, but this has been my thought forever. All right, so Major League Baseball. We're going to Major League Baseball right now. Did a lot of things to improve the game, pace of play, and all that, right? And then you watch the playoffs, and these games are 4.5 fucking hours. Anyway, they ignored that when it counted most, but I wouldn't do that golden bat rule thing or whatever. We mentioned that weeks ago. I would, and I'm well aware this will never happen because there's too much damn money. I would combine organizations. I would cut 6 teams. I would go down to 24. Would never expand. I would never put a team in Nashville. Would never put a team in Vegas. Like brand new expansion teams. There aren't enough good relief pitchers to make that work. There aren't enough good baseball teams. There aren't enough teams spending money for that to work. Have the Reds signed anyone? Have the Marlins signed anyone? Have the Tigers, other than Glaber, added anyone? What have the Royals done? What have the Angels done? What have the Indians done? I know they went, what have the Mariners done? I could keep going on. I can name probably 5 more teams. Teams aren't doing anything. What have the Rays done? Orioles added 1 pitcher from, I believe, Japan. These teams aren't spending money. It's bad. It's broken. Everyone's going to one of 6 teams. You take 6 teams away. You combine the Marlins and the Rays. Just for example, you combine the Marlins and the Rays. And say they go to whoever had better attendance the previous year. It's where you stay. So whether you're the Marlins the next year or the Rays depends on the previous season's attendance, right? You then have 3 years, maybe 2. Maybe you have 2 years. No, I'll go 3. 3. It's tough because the other market might, or the other city might lose interest. You then have 2 years to make the playoffs in say Tampa. Say they had better attendance. You have 2 years in Tampa to make the playoffs. That 3rd year, if you don't, now you're in Miami. Now you're the Marlins again. Same roster. You combine rosters, more talent, better team. You could do this with maybe Pittsburgh and Philly, whatever. You could do this with Houston and Texas. Do this with the Angels and Angels and Oakland. You combine them, or maybe it might work best with an AL and NL team. Just my thought. Combine these teams. I would not want to be Mets Yankees though. That's off the table. Off the table. The fuck out of here. So you combine the Marlins and the Rays, for example. 2 years to make the playoffs, or you move. Now, if you meet, now maybe the other factors like attendance, if you average a certain amount of in-seat attendance or ticket sales, maybe you get the 3rd year. If you make the playoffs, you get the 3rd year. But you would cap it. You'd have to cap that to please the Tampa. Or maybe you do March you're in Miami, April you're in Tampa, May you're in Miami. Maybe that would work. But I think there's too many teams. There's not enough talent. You can't tell me that there's 30 good closers in Major League Baseball. You can't tell me there's 20 good closers in Major League Baseball. You can't tell me that the first guy off the bench, the batter for the Angels, is good. No offense to whoever that is. Anyway, so I would call them nomad franchises, nomad cities, nomad teams, and I would combine Oakland and I guess it would be the Angels, yeah. Combine them, maximize ticket sales. Maybe you have a cool jersey that is inspired by both logos and team colors. You wear that a couple times. Sales, money, profit. Take teams away. European soccer, it's 20 teams in most leagues. Sometimes less, sometimes more. No playoffs there. But anyway, that's how I would improve Major League Baseball. That's how I would improve the NBA game, All-Star game. NHL, I'm excited about what they're doing. Again, that starts the 12th. We'll get into that. I guess after the Super Bowl, that would be the big thing in sports. real quick, because I mentioned the NBA. Jimmy Butler, drama. I love him. I don't see being a pro athlete. I don't compare it to other jobs. It's just not. If you're a lawyer and you pass the bar test in Tennessee, you don't get drafted by a law firm in Oregon. I mean, so I don't know. I see this shit differently than a lot of people. I don't complain. If people want to make it ugly, make a better situation for themselves, get closer to a championship, please tell me in the comments if you see a parallel in any other profession. So, but listen, I'm not, as much as I love him, Jimmy Butler, yeah, he makes it ugly. He's been pretty tame with this one. What'd he wear? Like, I know he's not playing, the advanced statistics said he's playing a little slower. He's not getting to the free throw line when he was playing. He's passing more. He's shooting less, obviously. Obviously, half of that is you want to keep your freaking body right. He's aging, and he just missed the playoffs because his knee buckled or someone fell on him against, I believe it was the play-in game, I think. And was that against Philly? I don't even remember. And so I just want to mention it. Hopefully he can get his ass to Phoenix. Hopefully that does not mean that Bradley Beal will become a Bull, even though that contract, when it comes off, would be pretty nice for that front office. But anyway, yeah, so that's the latest in NBA Jimmyville, as he's suspended again as the trade deadline approaches, and both parties are responsible. It's always ended ugly with stars in Miami. So you can bash Jimmy for this because he made it ugly in Chicago, but who would? It's Tim Floyd, right? I mean, who hires a coach who's literally like a technical foul away from having like a heart problem? Because, I mean, not to make light of, I'm not making light. Realistically, he had heart issues as a coach. Like, it's a pretty stressful job. So, by nature, he was not Timmy Tims. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Jimmy Butler, we'll see what happens. Hopefully he gets to Phoenix. Hopefully. And then there's the three-headed monster. There's a villain. Jimmy's a villain if you really hate him for no reason. I mean, I don't hate him. I'm a Bulls guy. He got out. Everyone wants a better life for themselves, and everyone wants money. It's all about money. He didn't get paid, so he's going to do what he has to do to get his money, to get maybe a ring. They didn't help him. Pat did not help him. They were waiting on Bam and Tyler Hero to become Curry and Karl Malone, and it hasn't happened. So, and I like Bam. He's an all-star. And Hero's playing out of his mind. But they're not what Jimmy needed. They haven't done enough, and Jimmy gave his blood, sweat, and tears for that organization. So whatever. We'll see. I know people don't care. We'll see where that goes. Next thing I'll talk about, back to the NBA All-Star Game. Caitlin Clark declining the three-point competition at the men's NBA All-Star Game. Kind of disappointing. This was a missed chance for the NBA. And I don't know. This would be cool to see like her and Sabrina going head-to-head in the three-point contest. And Sabrina's with Curry and she's with Clay or Lillard. That's what everyone wanted. Kind of lame. I have no. I don't hate Caitlin Clark. I'm an Angel Reese guy. Listen, I went to LSU. So I'm an Angel Reese guy. She's a little Dennis Rodman. And again, the villains are good. I like her, support her. Doesn't mean I don't support Caitlin Clark. She's great for the game. She's great for the sport in general, for boys and girls. And she's a little shit talker. She's a little Larry Bird in her. She doesn't take shit. She's tough. She's great. I would have liked to have seen this. I think this would get eyes. This would get a lot of eyes. Sabrina's great. She almost won. She did great against Steph last year, so I think that's a missed opportunity. I think that would be cool. I don't know, maybe she's tired of being stalked by creepy old men. So Caitlin Clark declines that. And then the next thing, I'm going to go to MLB now. We have one signing. Max Scherzer, 1 year with Toronto. Yay! That's me clapping. Someone took Toronto's money. Hopefully Pete Alonso's next. I think Boomer, I don't know who Boomer Esiason's talking to. He said Pete would be signed today. I haven't seen anything. It's close to 6 p.m. here, and I don't think the polar bear has an igloo yet. But he should go to Toronto. He should go to Seattle. Really, he should have Scott Boras calling Seattle and be like, "Listen, you need me. Me and J Rod would be pretty damn good together if we're hot." So I don't know. Max goes to Toronto now. The White Sox are trying to trade Luis. I believe it's Robert, not Robert. I believe it's Luis Robert. I haven't heard his name because the White Sox are never on TV. I'm starting to believe they're not a real franchise. I don't know. Yeah, so the White Sox and Cubs. Nomad. See what I'm doing here? I'm improving your shit, man, Fred, you clown. Anyway. Now the White Sox are trying to get rid of him. They could get a good return package for him. He's a good player. Averages dip, but most players' averages dip now. But he's still got pop. He's a good outfielder. From everything I know, I don't think he's not a butcher out there. And then the Padres, really good team, but their owner who passed recently, he went all in with Soto and Bogarts and everyone, and they had Tatis Machado. They tried. I think he knew he was going. He was ill. And now they have to kind of deal with the remains, not his remains. Just kidding. That was morbid. Not deal with the remaining schedule and the remaining roster. I'm flustered because I want Jimmy Butler on the Suns. No, they have to deal with the remaining roster now and the high salaries. So now they might trade Michael King, or Dylan Cease. And the Mets and Cubs are apparently calling them. Ring, ring, ring. And they're apparently in. So that would be huge for the Mets. I'd love to keep, as a Met fan, I'd love to keep some of the kids in the minors when you can buy anyone. And Dylan Cease will be a free agent after this year, just like Vladimir Guerrero will be. So please don't bring Pete Alonso back. You don't need him. Anyway. Yeah, that's our pre-Super Bowl week show. Well, mine. I'm hoping I get Vin back. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what I'm doing horribly wrong. Tell me that was a good joke 2 minutes ago about the remains. Tell me it was a terrible joke and I should go to hell. I'll see you there, motherfucker. So yeah, I got one thing left. And then we go to our flush picks. And then we're out of here for the week. Again, nothing going on. So the outline was pretty scarce. The topics were pretty scarce this week. One more thing is the Champions League. If you're into European soccer, the Champions League is the big tournament where all the European top teams from the previous season, they advance. Not all of them, but like 3 or 4 from Italy and England and Germany and Spain, France, yada yada yada. And then you have Turkey and Croatia and everyone. They enter the Champions League, and the Champions League final is pretty much the Super Bowl of soccer every year because this is a tournament. It's just like a playoff. There's no playoffs in domestic leagues. There are just tournaments, much like the NBA in-season cup. That's kind of what... This is a bigger scale than that. But they do have in-season tournaments in soccer all the time. And Champions League changed their format with 36 teams. And the top 24 of the 36 go out to the elimination games. So this is the standings. Liverpool crushing it right now domestically. and in Champions League. Barca, Arsenal, Inter, Madrid, but not the Madrid you'd think. So I have for the YouTube audience, I have the standings up. So if you're into European soccer, this is pretty cool. There's a lot of drama on the last match day. So teams had 8 matches to get themselves in to the top 24, aka the elimination stages. So there was drama with Zagreb, who played Milan and won. There was drama with Man City. They almost got eliminated, but I think they scored like 4 goals after going down 1-0, I believe. And then my favorite team, Brest. What? Who said that? No, my favorite teams are Arsenal and Milan. They finished in 13th and 3rd, respectively, and it's good. Champions League is always fun, and you should get into it. Expand your horizons, mother effers. So that's that. I have the standings up. We'll talk about this as it goes along. And I think I talked about MLS Cup for like 2 seconds. Messi got eliminated, and then I lost interest. But yeah, that's it. So I successfully fixed Major League Baseball's competition problem. I successfully fixed NBA ratings and game management issues. If that's a thing for you, it's not for me because I'd rather have my guys healthy in the playoffs. But people are weird and complain about stupid shit, and they don't even watch and they don't even go to games. So why do you care about Joel Embiid's physical body? Anyway, yeah, and then we talked about Caden Clark, Jimmy Butler, and him being suspended left and right. So next week, maybe we have any, maybe we don't. Stay tuned. But we will get into the big game. I don't know if I'm allowed to say SB. SB licks. We will talk about the Eagles. We will talk about who the hell's in there? The Chiefs. I'm so bored with them already. I forgot. All right, so you know what we do at the end of the second show of the week. Every week, we have our flush picks. And boom, I'm going back to Croatia, baby. Croatia money line? I don't know. I couldn't find it on sports books here. If you could find it, they are home. They are playing Denmark, baby. Trust the home team because they will probably murder the refs if they don't win this game. Who said that? No, but give me Croatia. It's a passion play for me. I have good friends who are Croatian and live there. So shout out to the Croats. But the other flush picks, Vin is taking Mississippi State basketball, men's basketball, tomorrow against Missouri. They're home. They're minus 6.5 point favorite. I am taking because I love them. I know I'm an LSU Tiger. That's what my diploma says. That's where my money's going. But I grew up in North Carolina, basketball fan. Still love them. It's hard to, though. They are not what they once were. But they'll be fine. I believe that. So I'm taking the Tar Heels, the North Carolina Tar Heels men's basketball team, plus 13.5 at Cameron Indoor. I don't think Duke is that good. What I've seen, I haven't seen much, but I've seen them. I have watched them. And I think UNC could beat anyone when they're playing right and rebounding. So those are our flush picks. Croatia, good luck in the European handball. It's probably just called the Handball World Cup. And everyone else, stay safe. Please. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do what you got to do to get more of us. Hopefully this entertains you. Because I kind of just won the whole fucking thing. Oops.